President Obama was joined by his right-hand man, the Vice President Joe Biden, on his bus tour today. It's been a rough week for Biden, who was with his son in Texas as he underwent a procedure and medical testing at a renowned cancer hospital. He spoke about that for the first time today.
I just want you all to know, since so many of you have asked me about my son, it's not only good to be here, but things are good at home in Delaware. My son Bo's fine. Sends his love. He wanted me to say hello to all of you, and he wanted to be with his colleague Kathleen, the Attorney General of the state of Pennsylvania. But he's doing well. He's anxious to get back to work.
The president's bus tour is somewhat reminiscent of the campaign trail, and CNN senior White House correspondent Jim Acosta, who knows something of the campaign trail, is here now with the details. Right. Jim, you have followed him for a long time today. It's been a long one, huh?
It really has, Jessica, something you know all too well. We should point out that as the president was gearing up for the final day of this bus tour, a White House spokesman was describing that recent apparent chemical attack in Syria as a, quote, mass casualty incident. It's another example of how this president has had a tricky balancing act on his hands all week. There's no election in sight, but President Obama was in full campaign mode, traveling in the White House bus from New York to Pennsylvania, kicking around his ideas for controlling college costs for students, taking friendly questions on his domestic agenda at a town hall meeting.
If you want to get called on, wear the president's face on your shirt.
And landing a few jabs on Republicans threatening a government shutdown.
They're worried about, primaries in the upcoming election. That can't be how we run a country.
But half a world away, brutal images of the dead, many of them children, after an apparent chemical weapons attack in Syria are a jarring reminder. The commander-in-chief has business to attend to back in Washington.
You cannot have a president who's seen on a campaign-style mode when people are being slaughtered in the Middle East.
White House officials defend the bus tour, saying the president should be able to do two things at once, both press for policies at home while keeping an eye on events overseas.
This is something that is going to require America's attention and hopefully the entire international community's attention.
In an interview with CNN's Chris Cuomo, Mr. Obama indicated time is running out on Syrian leaders.
Is it safe to say that we have a shorter time frame now in terms of what the U.S. can use as a period of decision in Syria and Egypt?
Yes.
But nearly 1 year after he gave Syria his red line warning against chemical weapon attacks, the president indicated he will continue to take his time. How long is the issue?
I think he now has to follow through in the next few days with some sort of set of policies.
With the vice president appearing at the bus tour's last stop in Joe Biden's hometown of Scranton, Republicans complain the two-day trip is all politics, calling it a kickoff to a Biden 2016 campaign. But the president's supporters at these events said they're glad he's focusing on their issues.
I know that my first year I'm okay with loans, but I don't want to be crippled with it.
Even if some say there should be a bigger emphasis on the economy.
Employment is a big issue. I do have a degree, but I need to get employed.
Now, White House spokesman did stress to reporters that assistance to the Syrian rebels from the United States is on what he called an upward trajectory. That's an indication that the White House wants the world to know that it is doing something about Syria while it is trying to figure out what to do next. And Jessica, we should point out, just as the president was wrapping up his remarks here, you mentioned that campaign-style feel out here in Scranton, where he and the vice president were here earlier this afternoon. The president actually mentioned his former 2012 rival Mitt Romney when talking about Obamacare, saying it used to be a Republican idea. A governor of Massachusetts tried it up there, and it's working out pretty well. So definitely a campaign-style feel out here in Scranton today.
I saw he also gave Biden a shout-out, saying picking Joe Biden was the best political move he ever made. So a little love for his VP. All right, Jim, great reporting. Get some rest. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Coming up next, my colleague John King takes over here in the Situation Room. He'll be watching a looming vote on the future of San Diego Mayor Bob Filner. The city council is voting right now on whether he'll keep his job. Also ahead, a story you'll only see on CNN. We'll hear from both a school shooting hero and President Obama about their phone call with one another.
Now to a heartwarming story you'll see only here on CNN. Two sides of an incredible phone conversation playing out right in front of our cameras. On one end of the line, Antoinette Tufts. She's the Georgia bookkeeper, now a national hero for putting her life on the line to stop a desperate gunman inside an elementary school. On the other side of the line, the President of the United States. Here's how it played out just moments before Tufts sat down exclusively with our Anderson Cooper to talk about the ordeal.
Before you came out here tonight,
I did.
Who called you?
President Obama.
Oh, wow.
Is that right?
Yes.
How was that?
In the makeup room. Awesome. Oh, God, it was awesome.
What's that like when you suddenly hear the president's on the phone?
I was like, President Obama, it's really you. You know, when you get the call and somebody tells you the president's going to call and it's the White House, I'm like, okay. But when you really hear the voice, you know it's the president. So it was the best voice that I could ever hear. Couldn't have a better leader in place at this time.
I appreciate you too, but I learned from the best president in the world. No, that's me. You can't get any better when you got a great leader in front of you.
What did he say to you?
He just wanted me to let me know that him and his wife and his family was very proud of what I did, and everybody wanted to thank me. And they were, you know, happy and glad for what I did, and that it was, you know, for me being a hero, and that hopefully that one day he would be able to get to meet me. So that was real. That would be, oh, just to see his face was awesome. To hear his voice, but to see his face would be even more awesome.
Well, I think if the president wants to meet you, they'll figure out a way to make that happen.
Yes.
And it sounds like the president is going to figure out a way to make that happen. The president talked about his chat with Antoinette in an exclusive conversation with our own Chris Cuomo.
When I heard the 911 call and read the sequence of events, I thought, here's somebody who's not just courage and not just cool under pressure, but also had enough heart that somehow she could convince somebody that was really troubled that she cared about them. And I told her, I said that not only did she make Michelle and me proud, but she probably saved a lot of lives, including the life of the potential perpetrator.
Oh, absolutely. She was calm in the face of the gunman. Did she keep her calm when she got a call from the President of the United States?
She was pretty cool, too.
Was she?
She was happy about it.
Thank you, too. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope I get a chance to meet you also.
I think we might have to have her maybe make a visit to the White House.
Now, we reached out to the White House to see just when that visit might happen. We're told the date has not been set. We promise we'll try to get a camera there.